Stone Cold's reign as WWE Champion came to a tragic end, and Mr. McMahon's hatred for the Texas Rattlesnake finally reached its boiling point, leaving the boss to search outside of his realm for a suitable ally.
I present the higher power.
Who could it be?
It's me, Austin!
Oh, son of a...
It was me all along, Austin! You all bought it! Even my immediate family bought it!
But what Mr. McMahon forgot was that behind every strong man was an even stronger woman.
Dad, Shane, how could you be so cruel?
We really weren't trying to hurt you, Stephanie. You see, it's just business.
And with the maniacal Mr. McMahon in power, the WWE Board of Directors found that they needed to do business as well, starting with a new CEO.
At our next pay-per-view event, which is King of the Ring, it will be me in one corner, and Vince, it'll be you and that little son of yours in the other corner.
We take this CEO title of yours.
You hang it above a ring, and the only way to reach up and grab it all, Austin, is by climbing a ladder.
The ladder match for all the marbles.
It's winner take all.
Ladies and gentlemen, now entering the ring for tonight's winner-take-all ladder match from Victoria, Texas, weighing 252 pounds, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
The most phenomenal roar I've ever heard in this arena is for the Rattlesnake. Good God Almighty, they're on their feet. 20,108, and you're damn right it's personal.
My God, can you imagine if tomorrow this guy has control of the WWE? The only thing worse than Stone Cold as champion is Stone Cold as CEO.
Hey, it's Lostero, and welcome back to LST Plays. So we're playing some more WWE on the run-up to Royal Rumble 2016, and this one's a bit of a mad one. This is King of the Ring 99? I want to say 99, I think we're in 2000 yet. And it's Austin versus Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon, as you saw by the little video at the start. Some of the most amazing acting ever in the little video package at the start. The one thing I'd say though is that I wish that they would explain more about how, you know, what sort of led to Austin having a match with Undertaker. And, you know, obviously we know why he lost, because he, you know, Shane screwed him pretty much. But the thing that they don't say is like, well, why is he having a match with Undertaker? And they did show in you know, that obviously there was a bit of like, you know, obviously Vince McMahon was behind the whole thing, so that's possibly why. But just a little bit more setup would have been pretty handy to sort of just get a bit more of a story, like what led to that match and stuff. I think, but one of my favorite things, and this I didn't remember this at all, but the guys from the Attitude Era podcast they've done all of these sort of storylines so far, and one of my favorite lines is, "It was me, Austin. It was me all along." And he's got the hood and stuff on. He's like something out of Star Wars, and he completely screws Austin over. And it's like, so that sort of explains why Stephanie was, you know, getting sort of hounded by, because you saw in the previous video, you would have saw at the start where Vince is sort of on Austin's side, and it's so weird. And you know, Undertaker was behind that, and then Vince was behind the whole thing, so it's a really convoluted storyline, but really awesome as well. And you get to see a young Stephanie doing some incredible acting. Yeah, she needed acting lessons at that time. I don't know if they were giving them to her. Probably not. It was probably just like, oh, Stephanie, you'll do this bit, won't you? But just amazing, absolutely amazing acting. She just looked completely confused, didn't know what was going on. So there you go. But she was, I'd have to say, she was pretty hot back then. So we've got this ladder match, and this is a little bit more convoluted, this match, because you have to take Vince and Shane around different points of the arena and do various bits and pieces. So you can see I've got to get Vince all the way up there. I've got Shane, but I haven't got Vince, and so I had to wait for ages for Vince to get his ass up there while I just beat the absolute crap out of Shane there. So there you go. You've got a wee showcase moment coming up here, though. So it's worth the wait, sort of.
Oh, this is a very dangerous situation, JR. Look out!
Stone Cold Steve Austin ladder match against both the McMahons. Vince and Shane, Mr. McMahon and his son, Satan, and Satan Jr.
This is not right, JR. Mr. McMahon's an executive. He's not made to be put through this sort of torture. Oh!
He is a demonic human being in my estimation, and Austin knows that. Austin knows his back is against the wall. The tables could turn at any time.
And so could the ladders.
Yeah, where's Home Depot when you need it? Cleanup on aisle 7. There's some teeth on the floor, I think.
And I'm afraid if Mr. McMahon's not careful, there's going to be a spill. No, this is enough, Stone Cold. Oh!
Again, it's Shane McMahon being bounced around like a rubber ball through anything that's not nailed down.
Jerry, you got to look at the look on Stone Cold's face. I think he's actually enjoying this abuse that he's dishing out to the McMahons.
Austin loves a great fight. And we know the rivalry between Austin and the McMahons.
This is not a fight. It's a total beatdown with weapons, with ladders. This is not fair.
Oh, my.
I don't think that moment will go down in tremendous history compared to the monster truck and the cement truck and all the rest of it, but a conveniently placed chain there holding up all those ladders, which is just amazing. It's so funny. But yeah, so this Sunday is the Royal Rumble 2016, and as I sort of mentioned in one of the previous parts, or even at the start of this video, I can't remember, it's all sort of blending together. There's quite a lot of people that are injured at the moment in WWE, so we no longer have the sort of mega stars like Austin and The Rock and stuff, and if you still follow wrestling you'll know exactly what I'm on about. But it's exciting because it's sort of the product at the moment has always relied quite heavily on moments from their past, and they haven't really built up this sort of roster of megastars like they used to have, like The Rock and all that sort of stuff. They're relying at the moment on people like Brock Lesnar, who were sort of at the tail end of the whole sort of Attitude Era. He came in I think 2002, 2003, and he was really like amazing at the time. I mean, you knew back then the guy was going to be huge, and so they're still sort of, you know, he came back and there was a massive lull when he left, and we didn't really have anything, and now we've got him back, and we've got Brock, but he costs so much money, so you don't get to see him as much, and there isn't really anyone else on the roster who's pulling in the money. And I mean, you've got John Cena, who's, you know, you either like John Cena or you hate him. I don't mind the guy. I think he's okay. I think he's although I don't like his, I mean, I watch wrestling for the wrestling. I don't watch it for the soap opera sort of stuff anymore, because it will never be as good as the soap opera that was in the 90s, because they obviously can't do that anymore, because some of it was just really risky, and you saw Austin was sort of crucified and all this sort of crazy nonsense that was going on. It's like the whole thing was Taker kidnapping Stephanie, and at the time I think he was trying to marry her or like sacrifice her or something, and it was complete ham and cheese, but it sort of made it because it was so unbelievable. It was believable in a way. So we don't get any of that sort of stuff anymore. We just get bad acting and very little happening from week to week. Every Raw seems to start with a like a big lengthy talking moment. Somebody comes out, usually the bad authority. We've still got the bad authority, which is the sort of hangover from the Attitude Era, which is like, obviously Vince McMahon was the bad guy then, and we've still got the McMahons at the top being bad, except they're nowhere near as bad as what they used to be, so it doesn't make for a good show pretty much at the moment. So they're sort of being forced to change the rules of what they're doing, I think, at the moment, just because there's so many people injured. And just to give you a head count, so John Cena's out at the moment. He's got a shoulder injury. We have got no Cesaro, who if you watch wrestling you'll know who that is. We have who else have we lost? Randy Orton, he would be another big one. And I'm struggling. I mean, when you have to sort of really think about it, you do struggle to sort of name even any of the sort of people you count as a big star, but they're probably the main ones. And it does show whenever you watch Raw, you watch SmackDown, and you just sort of see there's nobody really left, and the ones that are left aren't being really pushed well enough. Oh, and Seth Rollins, I can't forget about Seth Rollins, because he's an amazing athlete, and he was one of the highlights for the past 2 years. He's been a real big highlight for the WWE, but he got injured a while back. His knee went completely one way, and he went another way. So they're sort of left with the people that they don't really know what to do with, and that's hurting them. So I'm hoping that at the Royal Rumble we'll see a complete turn of the tide, as it were. It's their chance to push somebody new. It'll probably just be somebody like Roman Reigns, though, let's be fair, or Triple H. There's even talk of Triple H winning the belt, because this year it's the Royal Rumble is for the WWE Championship and not just a shot at the champion at WrestleMania. So it's going to be interesting anyway, and I'll probably talk about it again. But don't forget to like and subscribe. It's that time. We're going to get one final showcase, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the game. Let me know what you think of the upcoming Royal Rumble if you're into wrestling, and what you think of the current product. I always like talking about wrestling, and I have so few friends that talk about wrestling now, though, so I have to sort of go online to get my fix for wrestling. So, as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, look at this, JR. Stone Cold up that ladder. If he gets there, this thing's over. If he can reach that briefcase. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Austin trying to retrieve the briefcase. Put the McMahons out of business as far as Shane and Mr. McMahon are concerned. It is a 2-on-1 handicap match. Anything goes. And look at this.
Wait a minute. Use the ladder. What's wrong with you guys? Oh, that's not going to work.
That's not exactly astute ingenuity. What's next for these morons?
These are supposed to be business geniuses. And now look at this.
Well, they're in dire straits. They're in an emotional situation.
All they need is a couple of pairs of big shoes. They've like two clowns in there.
Uh-oh. Austin's up.
This is not going to be good.
Somebody's going down. Somebody's going down. Bam! Oh. Mr. McMahon and his son Shane knocked down Austin with an opportunity now.
Oh! Stunner!
Oh, man. The stunner. And then another stunner on Shane O'Mac.
Okay. The Rattlesnake has a clear path to victory now.
Austin sets the ladder. Make sure it's sturdy.
All Austin has to do now is get up that ladder. He can't do it. Look at this, JR. Stone Cold is climbing the ladder. Wait a minute.
The briefcase is ascending, as is Austin. Austin's no physical way to reach the briefcase. What's going on here?
I have no idea, but that briefcase is going up down like a yo-yo. You gotta be kidding me.
There's collusion here. Austin knows something is screwy.
I don't think that's the guy in charge of that. We certainly don't have anything to do with it. Vince McMahon going to the top. He's reaching for the briefcase.
And the briefcase is lowering.
Uh-oh, now Stone Cold.
Austin up on the ladder. The briefcase is rising a little bit to get out of Austin's reach.
Shane O'Mac kicked back down. Oh, Austin going for it, but now Vince is hammering away at Austin. And look at Shane. Look at Shane.
Shane pushing the ladder. And both his daddy and the Rattlesnake go down. Shane McMahon has an opportunity. Can he seize the moment? Can Shane McMahon seize the moment for the McMahon family?
He's got that ladder set up. Shane climbing to the top of the ladder. And look at the briefcase. It's lowering down into his grasp.
Where the hell's Houdini? David Copperfield.
Shane's got it.
And the McMahons have retrieved the briefcase. They have won the ladder match.
Here are your winners, Shane McMahon and Mr. McMahon.
And there's no doubt in my mind that Austin's life will now become even more of a living hell.